look at the inflows, it's the same trend, continuation of the same trend, that large caps are seeing outflows. Not a huge outflows, but generally outflows. And mid caps and small caps are pulling in the money. And by the way, okay, 3 points away. Good that the ticker has our eye on that mark as well. As we're looking at that ticker come down, okay, 2 points, one. Let me just hold on to the MF data since we are so close. Let's just see what the moves are in terms of stocks this hour. It's been on the banking side. That's, of course, a strong move altogether in the market. The Adani group of stocks, 1 point away, just 1 to 2 points away right now. Apollo Hospitals has been very strong on that UBS upgrade right from the morning. You've got autos fired up. IT has done really well. I mean, some of the IT names, a lot of the Nifty IT names are actually at their 52-week highs. So IT has been a great contributor to this rally, and banks have decided to participate. Power, of course, has been the big one as well. So let's wait by, just about a point away. It's teasing and it is tantalizing. So it'll happen. Okay. Record high, there we go. Okay, that's a record high. It's not the 20,000 mark, but it is a record high. Yeah. The last time we were here was, about a month and a half back. It was, I think, the July month where we were at those levels. So still exactly around those levels, just few points shy of 20,000.
Absolutely. I mean, so yeah, all-time highs, and we are I would say, kar do hai, Raj, khadam karo 20,000.
We can get on with life, right?
But let's see, it's just 10 points or odd. But I mean, some data coming up at the bottom of the screen. It's across the earlier high after 52 sessions. So we got to that 19,992 odd levels, and then there was a bit of a drop. And we're basically back at those levels once again. And I would say in a much stronger way, because back then, the mid and small cap rally was just about getting started. Now, of course, I mean, the rally there is really entrenched. So back then it was kind of a large cap rally with mid caps and small caps starting to participate. Now it is actually quite the opposite. Since the 31st of March, for example, you've got the broader markets which have done so much more as compared to what the Nifty or the sensex have really done. But I think
from the March lows, which is towards the end of March, right? 29th, 30th,
31st of March was the rally began. We'll never know what happened on the 31st of March because that was,
new financial year, new beginning, new mindset.
So from those levels, the Nifty is up about 17, about close to about 18, 19%, while the mid caps are up more than 40%.
Exactly.
Right?
So
that's the eye-popping rally in such a short time.
Absolutely. Well, let's go across to Nigel, who's actually standing by on the big wall. He's walked across to the big wall to kind of detail the picture, the journey of the journey to the new all-time high. Nigel, take it away. Okay, I think he's not walked away, but he's sitting down. But go on, Nigel.
Well, that's right, Prashad. Let's get a couple of data points up for our viewers then on the screen. Yeah. Well, this journey from around 19 to 20,000 odd, it's taken 52 sessions. The previous one from 18 to 19,000, it took 425 sessions. So it took a lot longer. This time we were off the blocks and we found our form and style. But remember, we have had better 1,000-point runs in the past, particularly the 16,000 to 17,000 odd when we did it in just 19 sessions odd. Well, I'm going to put out some data from the time that we hit this 19,000 odd mark. So the big indices, PSUs, I've been talking about it, whether it's the PSU banks or the PSU index on the whole, it's up between 19 to around 20%. And high beta has done very, very well. So metals as well as real estate, they do well. And that's perfectly depicted in the indices. Well, the IT space, that's held one end up because the Nifty bank has been off color periodically. But the IT index has been up close to around 13%. And the broader market, 17 to 20% kind of returns is what we are seeing. So let's give you some of the big gainers. On the Nifty itself, you have stocks that are up between 17 to around 28%. All of them should come up for you on the screen. A few losers in there, UPL, Britannia and HUL, they are under some pressure. But the broader markets, that's where the party has been. And I said PSUs have done well. Let's pull up a few of these big gainers in the broader markets. IRFC, not 100%, 160%. Kochi Shipyard, that has been up and about. IRCON, MMTC, SJV, and all of them have done very, very well. And Jyoti Laboratories as well, up more than 70%. But a couple of underperformers, you have Vedanta as well as Delta Corp. But otherwise, it's been a very, very good run. 19 to almost 20,000 in just 52 sessions. Back to you guys.
Well, it's not yet done, Nigel. I'll tell you that. Still 20 minutes to go. So who knows this 20,000 mark? Anyway, we'll watch out for that. But thanks for the data. And actually, our next guest is coming in. It's good to have, him on the show today. Amit Jeswani, founder and CIO at Stallion Asset. And of course, they run their fund where the asset size is it's crossed over 800 crores. Good to have you on the show. I was going through the portfolio holdings, and what really struck me was that you seem to have a cautious view on that one part of the market that's completely blown up. And I'm talking about the PSU space, right? So explain to us the thought, the rationale, and how you feel right now. I mean, whether you're still sticking to that theory, given what the market has been doing with PSU stocks. A lot of people are talking about a complete re-rating and a new era and whatnot.
And thank you so much for having me on your show. Surbhi, we've missed out on that rally. We now feel FOMO'd because we've missed out on that part of the rally. We didn't invest in PSUs for 10 years, and that was okay. By not investing in PSU, that didn't have any impact on performance. But now, we couldn't have imagined this kind of melt-up. There was no pattern and framework which could have said that you will see PSUs doing what they have done. It's just amazing what they've done. And as they say, the grapes are sour on the other side. So it's sour grapes for us.
No,
actually, on a lighter note, the signal came from no less than Prime Minister Modi, who, if you remember, said PSU.
That was like 1-2 weeks.
Clarion call, if you remember. I know, and I'm just joking. But are you changing your view, the way to look at things there on the PSU side? Because a lot of, I mean, if the government is going to be a big driver of capex, just 1 minute, Amit, I'll just come to you. I think I'm just waiting. We're just, half a point away from 20,000.
There we go.
So I just want to say we hit 20,000. I'll come to you. So we're almost there. Got to less than within 1 point.
It's happened, Prashant. 20,000 on the
right
Nifty.
Yeah.
We can finally say it. After a wait of 50-plus sessions, we've traversed the distance, traversed the journey, and the 20,000 mark, the next decade, the 20,000 decade is here.
So we're at 20,000. We hit 20,00001. So the high is 20,002, actually. So there you go. 20,000 finally there. It's, from the 19s, you've moved to the 20s, I think, I guess. So let's hope we stay there now and don't fall back into the 90s.
And the last leg has come, the contribution has come in from the FMCG names. Yeah. They were the ones which were a bit left out in this rally because consumer demand has been a bit muted, plus valuations were on the higher side. Yeah. But pull up an ITC, pull up a Nestle. These are stocks which are doing quite well. And of course, banks are contributing. So ICICI Bank has seen quite the up move in the last few minutes. So 20,000 is here for the first time.
And I think this rally is going to be remembered for new leadership because till now it was IT and it was banks. And that was always the narrative.
Or every time consumer, right?
Or consumer. Every time that we were covering these 1,000-point distances, it was one of these big areas. This time, banks were dragging their feet for the longest time ever. Yep. IT was in the doldrums, but then IT stocks, I mean, fundamentals, and we'll get to that as we get quarterly earnings. But IT stocks decided to, take a leap of faith. And then the sector that we've been discussing, PSUs, I mean, railway, defense. I don't remember in the last so many years of my stock market reporting that we thought that it would be these sectors that will really lead the next leg of the move.
Absolutely. I mean, so it's been quite incredible in the broader market, the action that we've seen, and newer kind of stocks and sectors have come to the fore, and they've kind of contributed to this rally. And by the way, I have to say, Surbhi was talking about IT. Large cap IT is still, in a way, kind of an underperformer. Mid cap IT has done very well, but large cap IT is still an underperformer, and banks have not really done all that much in the last. I mean, actually, in the last couple of months, banks are still lagging. So this rally is largely come on the back of, so as to speak, hard assets, right? I mean, old economy names which have done very well for the Nifty. So that the point I'm making is, if IT and banks were to start to participate, large cap IT and banks were to start to participate in a big way, I mean, you perhaps have got more to go here. And I think, as Reema was pointing out, the rally in broader markets began on the 31st of March, and the broader markets have done almost double of what the Nifty has done. So there you have it. But anyway, we are at 20,000, and let's get a flavor of what's going on in the newsroom as well. Nigel? What's happening?
That's right. I mean, there's a lot of commotion over here. Everyone's quite excited that we're seeing this 20,000 odd mark. So We waited for it, and I think the start of September itself, the markets were lightly poised. And after August, what a big comeback we have seen out there. 20,000, we've been counting down to this level, and the Nifty goes ahead, kisses it, and we're still holding closer to those levels. So fabulous, fabulous run is what we were saying. And as I told you earlier, only 52 sessions is what it took for us to get out here. The previous run, that is 18 to 19,000, was 425 sessions. So this, in that sense, was a good run, right, guys?
Absolutely, and I think some of the points that Nimesh and Prashant were making earlier, that we're at 20,000, yet if you look at fundamental or momentum indicators right now, whether you look at valuations, you look at how we are placed today versus the historic averages, we haven't crossed levels that we saw during the previous bull runs, and perhaps that is what is giving market participants some amount of confidence that this has more legs. Let's ask Amit that question, actually. Amit, what do you